Pope Francis has built his papacy on reaching out to the old and the young, the sick and the forgotten. But when this woman unexpectedly grabbed the Pope's hand in St. Peter's Square New Year's Eve, she got a most uncharacteristic reaction. The 83-year-old Francis slapping her hand away, visibly upset. The video since went viral, with people reacting online. One Twitter user writing, "A slap on the wrist was not the most Christ-like action possible, but it's way more Christ-like than most of us would manage." Another posting, "Don't grab people, Pope or no Pope." By the next morning, the Pope, who calls himself a sinner, apologized at his Wednesday prayer, telling the crowd, "Many times we lose our patience. I do too, and I'm sorry for yesterday's bad example." It's not the first time the usually demonstrative Pope has pulled his hand back. Kissing the Pope's ring has long been a sign of respect in the Catholic Church. But Francis made global headlines in March as he took his hand away again and again from those who tried to kiss his ring. Actions lampooned by The Daily Show with Trevor Noah.
It looks like a weird video game where you have to try and kiss the Pope.
No strange video game, Pope Francis told NBC's Claudio Lavanga his concern was hygiene. A pope determined to spread the gospel, now showing the world there are times when he too needs forgiveness.
And you've traveled with the Pope before. How does he react to people trying to kiss his ring?
Well, Lester and Hood, I've always understood that on the papal plane and in private audiences, that Pope Francis does not like the kissing of the ring, as you can see in that video. It is a centuries-old tradition in the Catholic Church, and it's something that's very hard for many Catholics not to do, but it's something that we understand he doesn't like.
I want to bet that they're going to find that woman and probably bring her in and have a conversation with her. I bet you that may be on the agenda.
I would think so, but I think there's a greater lesson for all of us, is that when you do something and you ask forgiveness immediately.
Yes.
And I think that's a very important teaching moment, as it were.
Absolutely.